said elastic fibers, and reticular fibers, and collagen fibers. All I want you to know is what those fibers do, as far as like some provide strength, others are stretchy. So I'm just going to take a stab at it and say elastic fibers are probably stretchy. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Good job. Okay. My other two are for strength. So if you got that, you're golden, right? So my collagen fibers and reticular fibers are for strength, and the elastic fibers stretch.
So is that why if older people use collagen, that's why their face looks...
Yeah, their skin gets really thin, they bruise very easily. Yeah. So, good job. So if you already know that, I think we're good. Yeah. I think that's about it for my connective tissues. We're not going to do any of that. These are the ones we already did. Areolar tissue, adipose tissue, reticular tissue. We saw those up in the lab, right? So you guys are all good on that. They just go through and they name them. So we already did this sort of thing. So types of cartilage, yada yada. All right, here we go. Membranes. A little on membrane. We did this up in lab as well. You might recall when we did the body cavities, we said we had a heart, and I had a membrane that went around the heart. I had the two layers. I had the innermost layer, which is known as my visceral layer. Then I had a bit of a space, and I had a second layer known as the parietal layer. Yeah. And in between was a fluid, a serous fluid, like a lubricant, like an oil, that kept the two from rubbing together. So, by definition, a membrane is this flat sheet of tissue that will cover or line like body organs or body cavities for us. You guys have that going on. And then it has some different varieties for us. We have, of course, a mucous membrane. What the heck does that make you think? Mucous membranes?
No.
Mucus, right? So we have a whole deal going. So it says mucous membranes, they secrete mucus, and they line body cavities that are open to the exterior. So why would you want to have a special membrane that is open to your exterior and lined with mucus? It's sticky, right? That's the whole point. Because mucus is like snot. Well, it is snot, right? So it's your mucus. And it lines like the nasal cavities. When you're breathing in air throughout the day, it traps those particles so it can go right into your lungs and things like that. So it protects from pathogens, right? All those bugs that are out there. Also helps you from dehydrating, right? Otherwise those surfaces would be exposed to all that air rushing in and out, dry out the tissue, make it really tough to like heal and things like that. So it will also help us with dehydrating those tissues. It lubricates the food particles too. It'd be really tough to swallow food if you have like no lubricant in your esophagus, right? It'd be really tough. And also we said trapping those inhaled particles. So that's a big part of those mucous membranes. You may want to like know that. Mucous membranes, exterior environment, and it does all those key things, right? Traps pathogens, prevents dehydration, lubricates the food. Perfect. All right, this is my first type of membrane, a mucous membrane. My second one is the serous membrane. That's the one we did up in lab. You may want to know about the visceral and the parietal layer. So visceral and parietal layer. What's the innermost layer? Visceral. It actually touches, it makes contact with the organ. Then the parietal layer is the second layer that would be making contact with the body cavities or some other structure located within the body. So the whole point of this one is that it will reduce friction. Right? There's that oil in there, reduce the friction. So as the heart's beating, right, contracting, expanding, as the lungs, you're breathing in, you're breathing out, they're changing shape as well. They're getting bigger and smaller, so that generates a lot of friction, a lot of heat, and this serous fluid can help to like dissipate that for us. So, again, this would do body cavities that do not open to the exterior, right? So the thoracic cavity, that's that exterior, right? The heart, lungs, things like that. So that's my serous membrane. They do not open to the exterior. They have the two layers, the visceral and the parietal. Oh. So you guys getting excited for your long weekend then? Forget about Monday. Sorry. All right, what about a synovial membrane? Go with the word joint, right? So these are around joints, knee joints, elbow joints, things like that. So located in freely moving joints. That synovial fluid, it's like the same deal, but it's going to help to nourish the joint. So we have like special stuff in that synovial fluid that will lubricate it. Right, the cartilage, the joint surfaces, will also bring nutrition into that area. So again, those are avascular. So a lot of times you've got to have right? Get as much stuff in as you can. So the synovial fluid helps out with that. So it's my synovial. So we did mucous membranes, serous membranes, and synovial membranes. So which one would I find in my thoracic cavity?
No.
Serous. What about in my nasal cavity?
Mucus.
Around my knee joint. Perfect. Okay. Muscle tissue we do in chapter 10, so we're not going to do it again here. So nerve tissue we do in chapter 12, so we're not going to do it here. And that's pretty much like the end of the chapter. We have like a few slides here. You guys just like name off maybe as I flip through. So you can look at that tissue in orange. It's a simple squamous. That'll probably be on your exam tomorrow. I always use that one. What's the location of this little guy? Simple squamous?
Blood vessels.
Lines, blood vessels.
Mouth.
Mouth?
Lineal mouth.
Yeah. And then function.
Protection. Absorption is.
Perfect.
No.
What about that one?
Cuboidal.
Simple cuboidal. Make sure you put the word simple in there. Just don't put the word cuboidal. That would not be so right. And then where do I find this one?
Tubules.
Kidney
Kidney
tubules.
tubules. Absorption. Good job. Ooh, what's that one? That's crazy.
Elastic columnar.
No, it's not elastic cartilage.
Simple columnar.
No, it's
Yeah, it's simple columnar that has some cilia on it. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Just read
Oh.
it in the upper left-hand side.
It does
Something
have
right?
cilia on there.
So, it's a non-ciliated simple columnar. Where do I find simple columnar? Digestive tract. That one actually is ciliated simple columnar, which we don't have those either up there, but anyway. That one. That's your pseudostratified ciliated columnar. Respiratory tract. Movement of particles with them. Ooh, that one.
That's the vagina.
Yeah, there we go. This is a picture of that. So, stratified squamous, keratinized,
Keratinized.
non-keratinized.
Wait, which side are we on?
Function.
protection.
Protection. Okay. How's this one? Transitional.
Yeah.
You
What
can't
we draw it
really
as the sand dollar. Don't forget the sand dollar. That'll definitely be on there. So look for your sand dollar, right? Transitional.
I don't like that.
Bottom of the urinary bladder, expansion or distension. Good job. Yeah.
Areola.
Areolar. Good job. Adipose. Adipose.
That's a very
Reticular.
dense, irregular.
Dense regular. Dense irregular. How are you guys doing? What's that one? Hyaloid cartilage with three little eyeballs and a pink background. Let's get the color.
Fibrocartilage.
Ours is blue, but it's fibrocartilage. Look for the fibers out there.
Elastic.
Yeah, elastic has no pain.
That's ear, yeah.
These come from the what?
Bone.
Bone. Good job. Hey, that's chapter 4. Yeah, we did that in like 30 minutes. Pretty easy chapter?
Yeah.
I gotta do like 10 minutes of chapter 5. So, okay, you guys?
Okay.